what is your usual day at Oxford? Top university.
Yeah. I wish there was an apple falling down. I was like, oh wow, Nobel Prize. I actually didn't apply to many institutions.
Hello everyone. Today we have a special guest, a PhD student in Oxford University. His name is Derek. And we are going to have a podcast about studying at Oxford, getting admitted there, and what was the process of admission, of getting a scholarship, and generally about research topics that at the moment Derek is doing in Kazakhstan. And let's dive in. So thank you, Derek, for joining us. Can you tell a little bit more about yourself, your research topic, why you're here, and give a general information?
That's super nice. Yeah. I think first of all, thank you very much for the invitation. It's really nice to be in this place and learn more about the very interesting, valuable, timely job, the sort of work you're doing here for students. It's quite amazing. So my name is Derek. I'm a PhD candidate at Oxford, and I study international development. Basically, my research interest is the politics of development, international political economy, and my specific area is the green energy transition from the global south. And currently, I'm doing a fieldwork in Kazakhstan. I'll be staying in Almaty for 3 months, and during which I will pay several visits to a southern city, which is called Janatas. Quite
nice.
Looking forward to what I'm going to see here, what I'm going to learn here.
Yes. That's so amazing. Yeah, I hope you will enjoy your stay in Almaty, Kazakhstan, and we hope to show you some nice vacational areas.
Yeah.
So can you tell us more about your career path, let's say your academic career path, which major you started during your bachelor, and then how you transitioned to your master's, and what inspired you to apply to Oxford?
Great. I think let's just focus on the academic side of my background. So basically, I did my undergrad in Beijing, a university called Renmin University of China. So I have a dual bachelor degree in international politics as well as journalism. And after that, I joined an international master program in Peking University. But that was during the COVID, so I only stay in person for half year, and the rest of the the 1.5 years was basically online.
Okay.
So at Peking University, I basically focus on development finance with a special focus on this organization which is called Asian Infrastructure and Investment Bank. I think that's a very interesting topic, a very timely topic for people to focus. So I decided to delve deeper into that topic, and I applied to basically Oxford to learn more about the institution itself, the thing it's doing, as well as the broader the background, basically the international politics, the global power struggle. That sort of stuff. You got a sense.
Have you ever had break between your bachelor and your master's and the master's with PhD?
I don't have any gap.
You didn't have? Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Yeah. I think that's quite.
So it's clean academic path.
Yes. I guess I was fortunate. I think I'm also like many of the Chinese students. So very structured paths, like undergrad, master, PhD.
PhD. Okay. Can you describe yourself as straight A student?
I wouldn't say so, actually. I wouldn't say I'm a straight A, but I have always been super, I would say, focused. So since my undergrad, I have very specific goals. I want to study these things. I want to look into that things.
Oh wow!
I think
that's the key, actually, right?
Probably, you never know. But at the same time, also distract you from a lot of things.
But you are very focused. That makes you reach your goals faster.
Yeah, I think so.
After your master's, after COVID, let's say, what was your admission plan? Let's say I will apply to these universities, I will contact these professors. what was the key points that you prepared yourself while applying to these top universities, and how was the process for you?
I think generally people have like two different patterns. The first pattern is that I need to apply for a PhD. I want to go to a better school. I have several target school lists, and I reach out to them, I contact them and tell them what I'm planning to do. That's the first pattern. The second pattern is that I already have a research topic, so these are the things I care about. And I look around, I look into different university, different institutions to see which is more relevant and which is more helpful. From my experience, so basically I'm the second one. So I already have like a more specific research topic. I actually didn't apply to many institutions. So I only reached out to this professor at Oxford.
Wow.
That's
You won the jackpot right away.
Yeah, in a way.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
So your professor during your master's had a connection with the professor in Oxford?
No, not really. I know this professor previously, but I didn't actually think that she would say yes. So I was just like thinking about, okay, let's give it a shot. Let's try the contact.
Okay.
And I think I was like lucky enough
To get it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you applied only for one university and you got it right away?
I applied to only one program, but I reached out to several, to be quite honest. So I reached out to several professors. I tell them what my topic will be and what kind of methods I'm interested in. And we have like several rounds of communications to see if we are like so there's a process. But in the end, I actually only applied to this one program.
After getting acceptance from the professor.
Yeah.
All right.
The informal.
Yeah. Okay. So while choosing several professors, which criteria you based your choice on, and then like what was your strategy? Did you meet them at the conference, or were they your professors like co-authors? And what kind of criteria did they look for? Your publications, your marks, your skills?
Yeah. I think conference, seminars, and workshops are definitely the most effective way to know your potential supervisors. But in most of the case, it's quite rare to find that one. So I think in most of the case, people just they go through the website to see who are more relevant and who might be more helpful. I think that's. From what I know, that's basically what most of the people are doing.
But it's quite inefficient, I think, right? Because most of the professors, they just don't reply to these kind of emails. Otherwise, they see very high impact factor.
I think the point here is about the relevance. I think you don't actually have that many choices.
Okay.
Because if you have a defined field of study, if you have a very defined topic, there are actually only several people you can choose, like who are like definitely relevant. So basically, what you can do is you reach out to them, you show who you are, and if they are interested in, they will reply to you. Basically, that's the process.
So after getting informal acceptance from the professor, you applied through the application system. So what was the process like? You have to pass your IELTS, or like write a certain motivation letter, provide certain documents, and so on? Yeah,
exactly. It's just like normal applications. You need to submit different materials, your CV, your sample of work, recommendation letters, and most importantly, your research proposal.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's one of the most important things for PhD, because in that 2-3 pages, you need to be very clearly tell people what you want to do, what kind of methods you're going to use, and what kind of significance the contributions it will be. It's quite hard. Basically, everybody has like a very big, grand, huge project, but you need to be specific and use the very simple everyday language to describe it, so that professors in a committee can understand that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's actually the hardest part.
So how long you wrote your personal statement, like this research statement? How long did it take to write it?
I think that's actually a long process. I think I took basically 2 months to finish that.
Oh.
I had the first draft and I revised. I had more feedback from people that I know, and then I further revised.
Okay.
And after I talked with my potential supervisor, she gave me some feedback, so I further revised. So there were like 5-6 rounds of like revision before I finally submitted to the committee. And to be quite frankly, after I got into that program, I also did a lot of revision.
Of the same document?
Yeah, the same
because
document.
You'll use it further for your research.
Exactly. So basically the things I'm doing right now is not exactly the same as what I wrote in those papers.
Of course, yeah, it will change based on the factors. That's interesting. Thank you. That's a very useful feedback for the people who are planning to get admitted to PhD, especially at top universities. They really need to pay attention to their research proposal. Let's talk about funding then. I know that there is several deadlines, a separate one for admission and separate one for scholarships.
Yeah.
So what was your strategy to obtain certain funding, scholarships in Oxford?
Yeah. I think in terms of funding, there are basically different types of funding. So the first one is basically the university funding. I don't know about other systems, but in Oxford, you are like automatically considered for those university level funding. So you don't need to do like actual
like merit-based funding, right?
Yeah. So like you submit the application and the system will consider you naturally, automatically.
All right.
This is the first choice. The second one, people usually get funding from their own governments. For example, like the Chinese government, Singaporean government, like Japanese, Kazakhstani governments. Okay. But those scholarships, they usually have conditions. For example, like after you finish your PhD, after you finish your master, you need to go back to your country and serve for a certain period of time. Okay. That's the second
So you have one in China.
Yeah. And the third one, which I would call as the grants, the small fundings. So they come from different directions. So they might come from your department. So they might come from your college. Basically in Oxford, we have like a college and a department at the same time. And they might also come from different research institution, academic society. So they have like small grants to sponsor PhD students. These are also very important.
So it's not from your project, it's from
outside
different resources.
Yeah.
So in your case scenario, how many fundings you applied for and how many you got at the end?
Okay. So my condition was quite unfortunate. I didn't have funding at the beginning. So when I got admitted, I didn't have any funding, which was quite stressful. That's a lot of money, basically, to be quite frankly. So I got into Oxford, and I tried a lot to look out for more funding from different sources. And it's quite difficult, I would say.
I can see.
And after you got into the program, it will be like harder for you to have the big funding. So sometimes you have to like put different pieces together to sponsor your study. So for the funding, you have to apply in advance. That means, right? So in advance before your even admission. So I think it can happen in different process. For example, like before your application, some fundings are open. During your application, there are like university system which will consider you for fundings as well. And after you get the offer, you can also like look out for different sources for the fundings.
That's a lot of work,
That's what I was about to say. That's a lot of work, and it really takes a long process. It's quite
around a year, I think, right, to apply for all of the places. That's interesting. So what was your first reaction while getting admitted to Oxford, receiving this letter? Top university.
I think the most natural feeling is I wasn't like too like excited because I was like so tired.
Already.
Like before the offer, there was like too much of the waiting, a lot of like anxiety, stress.
Yeah, all of it together, yeah?
Yeah. So it's like months of waiting. So when you receive the offer, you don't, I don't know, like at least for me, I didn't actually feel like too much.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, because you were very tired here.
I guess it's also because there are like several like checkpoints. So like you have like an informal meeting with your supervisor, and you have like feedback from your department, and then you wait for the feedback from the university. So every step, like you're not sure. You don't know what's gonna happen. So you're like very tired.
But maybe later when you arrived to England, maybe when you started your studies, you had different feeling, being very tired too.
No,
Less tired.
I wasn't always tired. I was tired like during the application process, but I had a good time like after I received the offer. So basically the summer before I went to Oxford, it was quite free.
The best summer, yeah.
Exactly. Supposedly
while being in the process of flying to
like you know the next chapter is about to start, but like you don't have to still get yourself into it. I think that's the best time. But like supposedly you should be like reading, revising your stuff, preparing, but
packing your
I believe most of the people they didn't do that much. They just like travel around.
So what was the reaction of your parents? I think for the parents it is quite amazing thing that their son is going to study at Oxford.
I think they probably did, but they didn't show much towards me because
at least smile.
Yeah, they're probably happy, but they didn't say like a lot to me. So basically just like congratulations. Probably it's also because like we're not in the same city, so it's like pretty much just online.
I see.
And also I always like, I don't know, like they're like the sort of like liberal sort of parents. So
they let you choose.
Yeah. So they don't blame me if I got bad news, and the other way around.
Which is amazing. After you got admitted and you came to England, what was your first reaction, let's say, to the society, to the surrounding, studying at Oxford? What was your feeling? Because education system there is quite different maybe from the education system in China. What was the courses, course load, research load? Can you tell us more about that?
I would say Oxford is a very decentralized university. So basically we don't have like a strong controlling system. People will not tell you like you have to do this, you have to do that. So everything is open everywhere. So you have to like look out, you have to do plans for yourself. You have to, I don't know, so basically just to mobilize different resources to make friends, which is quite important. To find the people in the same area, which is also very important. But I think like physically, I feel like UK is such a different country. Environment, food,
climate,
culture, social norms. I guess this is also like quite different from Kazakhstan as well.
So you're adapting as well here.
Yeah, I think I'm always adapting, like I do in Kazakhstan.
Constant traveler, constant adapter, adapting to different cultures. So your coursework, you choose it for yourself. That means, right? Because I heard that in England, for instance, universities don't put a lot of coursework. They put more of freedom to do research, to do your own like project and so on. So which is nice actually, I think, compared to, for instance, US universities where they really load you with coursework, and then at the end of the a year you have to do qualification exams. So what is like in Oxford?
I think it is exactly as what you talk about. It's quite open, quite free. You don't have too much. You don't have like many structures and many programs you have to go through. So basically the first year, PhD, at least in my department, PhD students, they're only asked to take one course.
All right.
So you only have like one course.
That's so nice.
But at the same time, you're encouraged to selectively sit in some courses that's relevant
to your research.
But it's like quite
which is
free.
More efficient.
This is kind of like related to what I just said. Oxford is quite a decentralized organization. You're free, you can do whatever you want. But at the same time, that can be stressful as well, because like sometimes you don't know what to do.
Yeah, especially
Right.
in the beginning, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So have they prescribed some mentor to you that will explain you how things work, maybe from your own country? No?
Simply
So
no.
you have to adapt
Yeah.
based on
Yeah,
yourself.
you basically have to build your own communities to make friends.
What is your usual like day at Oxford?
My
Looks
usual
like?
day.
Your sport activities or maybe some extracurriculars that you
Yeah.
do with some clubs at
Yeah,
Oxford?
yeah, that's the best part.
Yeah?
Yes. So I joined the rowing club in my first year. Rowing club, I think Oxford, Cambridge, they really have like a very great rowing culture. So my
What is rowing?
rowing is basically like 8 people, you sit in a boat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because there is a river and
Yeah,
you
there's a
can-
river.
Okay.
So basically you can have like 4 or 8 people, you sit in the boat and you work together.
Something like dragon boat? Or-
Yeah, I'm glad you know the dragon
okay.
boat. Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
So
okay.
it's like a Dragon Ball, but in a more fierce, more effective, and more
Really?
competitive way.
Okay. So you really work out while doing that?
Yeah.
Okay.
But to be a rower, you need to like wake up very early.
Oh.
Because like people, they usually have like classes like during the daytime. Class they probably begin at 8 or 9 a.m. So you have to like finish your training before that or after that.
Oh.
So our training is usually 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m. in the morning.
Wow. So you have to be disciplined to really go to your training every week.
Yeah. Sometimes you simply just don't want to go to the training, but you know the other like 7 people, they're like waiting. So you have to go.
This is a teamwork as well.
Yeah. But that's quite an interesting experience.
This is something very English, I feel like. You know, something very cultural. Yeah.
Very white.
Yeah. White. White. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
What else? So you're going to rowing club then?
Yeah. I finish my training very early in the morning, and then I have a breakfast. If I do have the training, it's gonna be like a big breakfast. If I don't have the training, it's gonna be like a small, simple breakfast. And then I go to my department. I do some work. I have lunch with my colleagues, basically the PhD students, probably some professors as well.
Do you complain about your life during your
well, of course,
research?
of course.
Of course. That's the best part in academia. That it's not working.
Lunch is for the gossip and complaining.
And
in like after lunch, probably do some more work. And we do have a lot of like lectures, seminars, workshops. These things happens in different departments, different research centers. So you can selectively go to those places to learn, to explore. I think that's pretty much it. And after the work, probably more training in the gym or
to be able to row very fast.
You either train in a gym or you train like in the water. So it depends. But these are like they're like usually combined.
Wow.
So probably you go to the water in the morning and then in the afternoon you go to the gym.
Okay. So you do it quite professionally, I think.
I try to make it professional.
That's nice.
Which consumes a lot of time.
I see. Yeah, that's true. So during your second year, this is your second year, right?
Yes.
You have your internship in different university, or was it an exchange program? Why they send you like to different country to do research?
Okay. I think in Oxford really has this tradition of doing field work, like to get to know
the real
to have the first-hand data, to do the observation, to basically to participate in the things you care about. And it's more important in my department because I'm in the Department of International Development. So in our second years, people usually go over to different parts of the world to look into their research topic. As example, so I look at sort of green energy transition in Central Asia as well as the China's investment. So this is why I come here, talk to people to learn more about the projects. And I think that's a very effective and
more hands-on experience
I think that's
compared
quite
to
important.
just reading the articles and papers.
Because your experience is going to be like way different from what you learn from the library or from the seminars. It's quite important.
Just from doing literature review. So they give you around a semester to get this hands-on experience, and then after coming to publish maybe or write a certain article, do they put specific amount of articles you have to publish after your? No,
not at all.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so amazing.
Yeah.
So you can publish 0 article and graduate from Oxford.
At least in my department, yes.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
What you need to do is you need to have a very concrete PhD thesis. That's the most important part.
Okay.
I think I totally agree with that. No matter how many or how frequently you publish, as a PhD student or as like a young researcher, the most important thing is still your PhD thesis. That's because that's the thing you work for.
Because some of the schools, they really orient to your research papers. Like that you have to have certain amount of journal articles, certain amount of conference papers, then only you will get satisfactory on after your semester.
That's what I heard as well. Some people, I think that's more conditions for like science, hard science, like
engineering.
Okay. I think they probably have that, and like we have our sense, and they have their senses as well.
That's nice. So, what kind of strategy can you recommend to students who are planning to get admitted into top universities?
That's a huge question.
Huge.
Yeah,
okay,
I guess that's important. I think it actually depends. Like if you apply for a PhD, I think there are several things. The first thing is to be specific. To show people that you have a topic that you know and that you would like to contribute yourself into it to deal with the problems.
You have to have certain experience, certain, let's say, research skills in your resume, so to convince professor and admission committee.
Yeah, I think the point is to have a very
concrete.
Find that niche that really suits you and suits your potential supervisor. To find the point of entry, I think that's the hardest part, because there are like so many issues, so many topics.
All right.
But the thing is that you need to find that exact topic that really means that you are the unique, the only one person in this world that can work it out. I think it's quite important, because if you have an interview, it's quite important to say directly what you want to do and what you can offer, what's your backgrounds. If you need to submit some documents in your application, it's also very important to be direct. Use the everyday simple language to say what you have to say. I think that's quite important, because these professors, they go through thousands of applications every year. They basically they see a lot of things that are similar. So it's quite important that you use the simple language to say your uniqueness.
That's nice.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these 3, let's say, suggestions can lead you to being admitted to top universities around the world, along with having amazing marks.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. But like the other side, even if you got rejected, it doesn't really mean that you're not good enough. Simply just like there's no fit.
Compatibility.
Yeah.
So what was your GPA and IELTS test results while you were applying?
So I didn't do IELTS. I did the TOEFL. I think my TOEFL score is I wouldn't give the details, but like
it's okay.
It satisfies. And my GPA is also okay.
Oh, really? Like,
okay. So I didn't really have like a super high GPA.
Like 4 out of 4. I thought you were 4 out of 4.
No, I don't really have that. I don't really have that. I quit too many courses.
Okay.
But I have like an okay GPA.
It's like around what is the average of GPA?
I think it's simply just above the average.
3.5 and higher?
Yeah, about 3.5, around there.
All right.
I think as long as you're above that line, you should be fine.
Yeah, safe zone.
Yeah, I actually don't know like what their standards are. I heard some people say like they have very high standards.
Exactly.
Like you have to be like 3.9, you have to be
like
like
a genius.
3.95.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I heard people say that your score is not really that important.
In your PhD, yeah.
So I don't know.
Okay. So what is the 5 best things in studying at Oxford as a PhD student?
Okay. 5 things. Wow, that's a lot.
That's a lot, but you cannot use so many.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the first is about the diversity.
Okay.
Oxford is quite diverse. Like I said, it's like quite decentralized organization. We don't have that many rules. We don't have that many regulations. It's a very flexible, open, international environment, just like many other universities. So that's a very good environment where you can make friends with people from different backgrounds.
Yeah.
I think that's the first thing. The second thing is I don't know, it's about the tradition. Because my university is a very old university, so we do have
certain etiquette and
many old traditions. Like we usually have like formal dinners where you put on like a black
suit.
Yeah, black shoes every week, and
nice.
I can show you
you have
something.
certain suit that you put on the dinners.
So the sort of like I think
so you have to like use the right fork and talk the right way.
Yeah, basically.
Use the British accent.
Yeah. Well, not British accent, but like,
no.
But for instance, you know what I mean.
A little bit more white.
I can show you the pictures later.
All right, we'll post them.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I think the third thing is that I don't know, I feel like the town, Oxford town, is really just a university town, and it's quite relaxing. It's not just a place.
Stressful.
It's not just a place for like scholars. Like sometimes when you're like tired of your research, you can basically take a break, walk in a park.
In the river.
Alongside the river. I think the environment is definitely amazing.
So I think this kind of environment helps you to think, to contemplate more about your research, maybe your project.
I heard that from a lot of people.
So have you slept along the tree and then apple fell into you?
I do rest under the trees sometimes, but unfortunately there's no apple for me. I wish I did.
Okay.
I wish there was an apple falling down. I was like, oh wow, Nobel Prize. No.
Next Nobel Prize.
So I think the environment
maybe
I don't know. I think the fourth thing is that basically it's also a very open society. So we have like a lot of like celebrities, like important people coming to the town to give speeches.
Like Queen and King.
Not Queen, but like important figures, like big figures. Like,
who's the latest big figure that visited Oxford? That you can remember?
I can't quite remember, but we do have like a lot of like ministries, head of states, actors, sportswomen, a lot of
Prince Charles, maybe.
Yeah, probably. But it's just that I don't know, like.
So this would be your like contact list, like 10 people that
wish.
You know.
I really wish.
Second handshake of.
Maybe if you're interested in that, you can do that.
Yeah.
But I guess
very
I was
important contacts in your phone.
It's really nice.
So they give usually certain lectures, or like why do they pay a visit?
Okay, so they pay visit to different, like departments, research centers. We have Oxford Union, which is basically for the debates. So we have the traditional of like debating. So we invite a lot of people to come to the town to do the debation around those hot topics, the policy sort of stuff. It's quite interesting. Yes.
And the last one?
The last one, I don't know. I feel like the last one is probably also about the history. I feel like my university is really a part of the history. Like
many historical people studied there, and they made a history.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
I think
that sounds so cool.
Yeah, like sometimes you just like go
you're
through.
Also part of history.
Well, I'm not. I'm simply not. I wish.
All right.
Sometimes you just like go through the literature and you find like just simply somebody from your department from your university, they're a part of it. I think the feeling is quite amazing.
That's true.
Yeah.
Studying next to the best and being the best here, right?
But at the same time, it can be quite stressful as well.
That's also true.
Everybody's like quite outstanding, excellence, in a way very competitive. So you have to find your niche, find your place, find your position. Sometimes people get lost, and even if you get lost, it's quite normal because you don't always find yourself. It takes a process.
Yeah. True.
And these are, I don't know, just my feeling, my natural feelings. I think people's experience, that really varies from people to people. Some people, they simply don't like Oxford. They escape a lot. They went to London, they went to different British cities because they don't like it. Some people like it so much, like they probably would want to do a PhD for like 6, 7, 8 years because like they love this town. So again, this is like quite not fixed. Yeah.
True. So how do you manage stress during this kind of periods? Let's say everyone is succeeding, everyone is super amazing, and you feel like you have to be up to the standard. How do you usually cope with that, or what is your strategy on this?
Yeah, I think that's actually quite a important question because the stress, you're definitely gonna face much of the stress during your application and even when like studying in Oxford, and everybody has their own way out. For me, it's mostly sports.
All right. Okay.
So I do sports a lot, different kind of sports. I go to gym, I do rowing, I play basketball. I'm not really like an expert or like professional, but I think sports is definitely one thing I can rely on. The second is food. I like food.
Nice answer.
The food with the
food is always the key.
Exactly, the food with the high calories, they always like treat you well.
Fried, everything, a lot of oil.
Yeah,
true.
I think the third one is pretty much just doing nothing. I think it's sometimes you just need to like give yourself a pass, and you don't need to have like a very fixed schedule. Just give you a half day, stay in your room or in a park, simply just doing nothing, listening to the music. I think that's quite relaxing as well. Yeah.
Let's talk about living arrangements. So is it hard to find apartment in Oxford, or like do they provide you with dorms as accommodation? And can you, for instance, live with your family or with your children? Because sometimes during a PhD, a lot of the people also get married.
I think there are many options. Mostly our freshers, they choose to live with the college. Well, some extra information. So in Oxford, we have like 2 parallel systems. The one is called department. So basically, this is the place where you do your PhD, where you study, where you cooperate with your colleagues. And we have a second system, which is called college. So basically, you live, you eat, you make friends in your college. So this is like two different systems. I think this is quite a nice setting. So you don't like, you're not only like attached to one place. You have like 2 homes at the same time. This is quite nice. So yeah, there are like several options. You can stay with your college. So basically, you share a flat with, I don't know, 4 or 5 people. You share a kitchen, but you have like your own bathroom. I think that's quite nice. Some people prefer private accommodation. So basically, you rent the house, you rent the room, which is more, I think it's more flexible for some people, more privacy. You don't have to see the same group of people every day.
True.
The third option, some people with families, with dependents, they can also choose in between, like the college. They also have like a family apartment
settings.
Yeah, they have like different choices, like studio, student dorm, family house.
And what is the average like monthly rate for the apartments in Oxford?
I think it depends on your locations, the facilities, and the quality of your building, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is it affordable or it's quite expensive, let's say?
I think it's okay.
It's okay.
It depends on, again, it's like manufacturers.
If you want to live luxurious, then you can. Okay.
Yeah.
True. All right. So coming to the end of our, let's say, podcast, it's important to, I think, also highlight about career perspectives after your PhD. It's more relevant, let's say, to work in the industry for Oxford graduate in your field, or to continue in academia, and what are the chances working here and there?
Yeah. I think people really have different ways out. Some of my friends, they simply go back to their governments to serve the governments.
Okay.
Some people, they like international organizations like UN, UNDP, World Bank. These are nice options as well. Some people, they love, I don't know, private capital. So you can also go to work for international companies. Also, people, they go to academia, basically to do professor, to do lecture. Yes.
So what do you prefer?
My strategy is simply to keep the doors open.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm only in my second year. You never know
what will happen. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I, to be honest, I don't really have a plan.
Just go with the flow and see what's coming.
Yeah. I guess that's my long time strategy. I always be fluid, be open. You don't have to
design
too much for yourself because the world is changing so fast.
Exactly.
This is also important. You never know what's going to happen.
Putting extra stress, right?
To
yourself.
Yes.
True. So, okay, maybe some suggestions generally to our students to succeed not only in academic life, but also in just personal life. As a student, and what kind of suggestion would you given to yourself a few years back?
Yeah, I think. Well, I wouldn't say these are suggestions because I don't think I'm like so different than others. But I would say several things that I really benefit from in the past few years.
Okay.
Yeah, and just take it as some general thoughts. This is nothing about suggestions or advice. So I think the first is really about stay focused. This is so important. No matter if you want to do PhD or you want to go to private companies or other places, I think stay focused is really important to find that things that you're so happy with, that you don't feel tired doing it. I think everybody has their own little areas that they're good at. Yeah. Like that topic, that thing.
Defining it.
Yeah, that thing, that sports, that sort of music. I think that's the things that you need to find. And that's related to the second one. Once you find that niche, you can mobilize resources to serve for your goal. Basically, just to be brave, don't be shy. I have this goal. I need
just
to
go for it.
Yeah, just go for it. I talk to whatever the people it takes. I do whatever things it takes. As long as I can reach that point. I think that's quite related. The two things. But these two things together, they're gonna make you so, I don't know, so devoted, so stressful sometimes. So that leads to the third thing is just relax and try to find a part of life or the time that you can relax. I think this is really important.
Some activity that makes you
relax. Alongside these goals, these needs, and alongside these effort, these activities, simply find that thing that can calm you down. That can give you a good mood.
So there will be a balance.
That you can stretch your body. You're so relaxed.
And think more clearly, without stress. Under pressure. True.
And simply talk to people like you.
Oh, nice.
Just to make you relax. Basically to
Thank you, Derek.
Go to different places, to know more people, to understand what people are thinking, to understand there are a lot more going on around different places.
World,
It's not just about your work.
Yeah, true. It's not just about you and your limited space. The world is big and you should explore it. It's true. Those are very nice suggestions. I think many young people really will find them helpful. Thank you, Derek. A really inspiring story about studying at Oxford. I think very bright future ahead. And thank you for coming to Almaty. I hope you will enjoy your stay, visit many places, areas, mountains.
Yes, mountains.
Do a lot of adventure. Because studying is not just about reaching goals, it's also about enjoying life and studying about different cultures.
Thank you so much for the invite. I think the conversation has been really nice.
Yeah, thank you. That's my pleasure. That's the honor. The PhD student from Oxford. For the people who are subscribing to us, please stay in our channel. More interesting podcasts to come.